Ladies and gentlemen, I have a suggestion to make. Now, I don't normally do dump Trump videos, but it is one of my favorite topics. And I will tell you why the title starts off with dump Trump. First of all, Trump is a complete and utter fraud. That's not just my opinion. He has been proven to be a fraud. Now, I'm not talking about Russiagate, because that's been disproven this week. I'm talking about Trump's love for America. I don't believe he loves America at all. In fact, I believe that as a multi-time billionaire, he only has the interests of his family, immediate family, and Israel. Those two interests are right at the top of his list. And I would say that Israel is above his family. Because, in fact, he has done nothing in regards to helping the American people get out of poverty or get away from the wars that he said he is against. Now, we're going to talk about this in a moment. Good morning. We're going to talk about this in a moment. What Trump promised before he became president and what promises he kept, two different things. The first thing I have to do is I'm going to rotate this camera. Well, first I'm going to go to my home page. I have to do something over there. And I want to set this as a live stream in public. So I need to go to my videos, and then I need to go to my live streams. And then I'm going to go to make it public, which I think it is right now. I'm not sure. I have to check. And I did. Yes, it is. Okay. So it is public. So let's talk about Trump's. Let's talk about Trump's failures. Let's talk about how many failures that Donald Trump, how many promises did he make that he did not keep? Let's make America great again. That was his motto. He is a total fraud for making America great again. America being great again stands for truth, justice, and the American way. And he did everything to suborn truth, justice, and the American way when he locked the country down for 2.5 years and destroyed trillions of dollars worth of business. Now, you can say that he went along with the powers that be, but he's the president, and he had foreknowledge that the entire virus was a hoax. He knew that. What else did he know that I can parallel Trump's knowledge of the virus being a hoax to? Trump, the day after the attack on America by the powers that be, aka Dick Cheney and the CIA, the FBI, the NSA, and the World Trade Centers were supposedly hit by 2 jet aircraft and collapsed from jet fuel. That's a total hoax. I've proven it 1,000 times. I can prove it to you 1,000,000 times. I could prove it to you 1,000,000,000,000 times. Impossible for the World Trade Centers to have collapsed due to what is known as a tin can, an aluminum can, hitting 36 by 42-inch steel columns where the steel is 4.5 inches thick around the column. Inside the columns is high stress, high tensile, high grade 2.5-inch rope steel and or cable inside a 36 by 42-inch column. Then there were 12 of those columns around the elevator shaft that the plane, according to the news media, went through the building, bologna and cheese, went through 12 of those columns, bologna and cheese, 50,000 pounds of jet fuel ignited, that's true, and then caused 2,000 plus degree heat to melt the joists in the ceiling that were covered with 1 inch of high thermal resistance asbestos. And Trump, as a builder, he knew that. He knew that. And so did every other engineer in the world know that jet fuel burning at its normal temperature will burn at 475 degrees. Atomized under pressure, which it was not, will burn at about 750 degrees. Would that be enough to somehow heat up 4.5-inch thick steel columns? No. Would that be enough to heat up 1-inch joists? No, because you would have to have that 750 degrees for hours in order to heat up those joists. Hours you would have to have that. And then there would have to be an atomization of the fuel under pressure, high pressure air, to get it up to 750 degrees. All that happened in the World Trade Center was gasoline, jet fuel, JP4, JP6, under ambient air pressure with no atomization and no airflow. Maximum temperature of that, 550 degrees. Add the office furniture, 600 degrees for plastic and rubber. But how long did the flames and that temperature last? Minutes. The original ball of explosives, of explosive jet fuel, the high heat impact was over within less than 3 minutes. So where did the heat come from to melt the ceiling joists and or the skeletal frame? We didn't even talk about how did the plane get into the building. You got to understand this from an architectural point of view. We're getting a lot of comments here, so what I'm going to do is I'll give you guys the benefit of the doubt, and if there's an intelligent comment, I'll read it. So give me a moment. Let's go over here, and let's open this up. And then you'll have to have an intelligent... give me a moment. And your intelligent comment has to supersede my knowledge of metallurgy, how long it would take to melt something like that, how much fire resistance the asbestos has. I could ask anybody in this chat, what is the fire rating on the asbestos in the World Trade Center? I will ask that question. Somebody here tell me what the fire rating on 1 inch of asbestos blown onto steel is. Somebody answer that question, because otherwise I'm just going to assume that you people are just talking out of the back end of your body, because you don't have a clue for the most part. Maybe one or two do, but the rest of you do not. And when you listened to the news reports, that's nonsense for so many reasons. And I'll go through them one at a time, and then I'll tell you why Donald Trump did more to destroy America than he did to help America. All that rhetoric, make America great again. He lied to you people, knowing that the virus lockdowns were completely unnecessary. He had foreknowledge of the virus from 2017. There was an operation that they were going to perform in Washington, D.C. about a viral outbreak that was false. He was warned that there's going to be a false flag operation on his watch. He was warned about that years before it happened. And yet he lied about the lockdown. He lied about the virus. He lied about the vaccinations. He lied about everything, shut the economy down, and effectively destroyed trillions and trillions of dollars of world economy, except for the big pharmaceutical companies. All the pharmaceutical companies made approximately in 2 years over $100 billion in profits, when all the rest of the corporations in the world lost money. The only country in the entire world that locked its citizens down, that did not, and I repeat, did not compensate workers for money for lost wages, the only country in the world that didn't compensate the workers for lost wages was America. So how is he making America great again? He was the dark horse, the Trojan horse that they placed into the American economy and system to destroy, not help America, not make America great again. How did making everybody stay home and usurp 80, 60, 70, 100% of their middle class savings, how did that help America? How did destroying $30 billion worth of cruise ship industry every year for 2 years, $30 billion of the container ship profits, hundreds of $2, $3, and $4 billion super luxury liners were destroyed because they couldn't afford to keep them, pay insurance, and pay people to take care of them. And Trump knew all of this when he locked it down. But more than that, Trump knew the virus was a hoax from the get-go. He said it in the beginning, this is a China virus. And then he backpedaled on that, just like he backpedaled on the fact that he was going to save America. Another Make America Great Again. Take one shot. One shot is going to wipe the virus off the face of the earth. One vaccination. And when everybody got on board with, okay, well, maybe that's possible, he changed it 2 weeks later to my vaccination program. My vaccination program is going to be the greatest thing to ever hit this world. We're going to wipe out We're going to wipe out the virus with my vaccination program. Program in quotes, because a program is like a TV guide program where there are thousands of programs. A program is multi-dimensional, multi-opportunities, or in this case, multiple shots, whereas originally it was one shot is going to destroy it. The man was a fraud from the get-go. Not only that, his entire interests rested upon making Israel more powerful and more rich. Behind the scenes, that's what was going on. And he knew that Israel was in the process of taking over what they call their land from the Palestinians. He knew that was going on, and he deflected from that by locking everybody down, and now everybody's talking about the virus, negating the supposed war crimes that Israel did against the Palestinians, which go on to this day. And people like Julian Assange, who only gave you the news, was telling the truth. Trump knew it. He knew Julian Assange was innocent. Did he exonerate Julian Assange? No, he did not. Did he say, we'll give Julian Assange a pass, come to America, and we'll make everything right? No, he did not. Because he was never for America. He was never for America. He was never for America. He was an Israel firster. When he went to the Wailing Wall and banged his head on the big rock, you should have understood at that point he was an Israel firster, which is okay. But he knew He absolutely knew that Israel was once again in the process of taking over what they call their land from the Palestinians, did nothing about it. He knew Julian Assange is innocent, like everybody else with half a brain. He knew, he said it the day after the World Trade Center event, it's impossible for the buildings to have collapsed, 3 buildings to have collapsed from jet fuel because it burns at 450 degrees. Not only that, he knew that there was nothing, no jet airplane hit Building 7. He knew that Building 7 was built to 2 and 3 and 4 times the structural integrity of any other steel frame building in Lower Manhattan. But there was also a bomb shelter that could withstand a hydrogen bomb dropped on the Empire State Building in Building 7. And where did Giuliani and the rest of these creepy politicians go? They went to the 19th Street Pier on the Hudson River with no shelter, just tents, because they knew that Building 7 was going to be so-called pulled. And that's what Trump knew in advance. We're not even starting on what Trump knew. Trump also knew that Jeffrey Epstein was completely, absolutely in the wrong. I don't want to call him the P word because that might go against my algorithms. But he knew what Jeffrey Epstein was. He banned Jeffrey Epstein from his Mar-a-Lago hotels in Florida. He knew exactly what he was, but he did not go against Jeffrey Epstein. Why? Because he was the system. He was part of the system. He was in charge of the system. He was a political hack for the democratic society or politicians. Trump never wanted to make America great again. He wanted to destroy the American economy so that it would bring down the American economy so that we would become a third world country. And I'll go through 2 or 3 other things that Trump did and did not do in regards to the border crisis and in regards to several other things as soon as I catch my breath. I'm going to read the comments. And if you don't have a comment that's based on fact, and when you're going to give me a comment based on how long steel takes to melt, how did that aircraft go through the building? If you don't have an engineering degree, which basically I have that and more as an A&P jet mechanic, if you don't have an understanding of science and physics, don't comment on my page. And if you don't have videos or anything to show on your page, and you want to agree with the facts of what is happening, you're welcome to do so. But don't come on my channel and troll me, because that's not going to happen. And that the fact that people keep asking me to let them back on my channel, if you want to remain anonymous, you're an anonymous troll with no videos, no social media, no reference to who you are, no way to know who you are, where you live. That's fine. That's okay. But if you want to remain anonymous on YouTube, you're going to remain hidden and anonymous on my page unless I know you directly through phone calls, Skype, and or in person. You want to remain anonymous and you want to troll YouTube, you can do that. But you can't do it on my page. Get it through your head. You're not coming on my page if I don't know who you are to troll me. You can want to state facts, knock yourself out. You want to be an upstanding truth sayer with facts behind you, knock yourself out. But don't come on my channel and say, oh, he doesn't have an A&P license. Just look it up. My A&P license would cost any person in America $200,000. That would be about $100,000 for school, and it would take you 2 years of full-time school that you'd lose your wages for 2 years, and then you'd still have to pay your bills. $200,000 is what it would cost you to get my A&P ticket, which is still valid to this day. I'll read the comments. Don't troll me. Gonna get blocked. Definitely gonna happen. Good day, Aussie Outlaw. Your camera is always sideways, okay? It's okay. We went sideways on Trump today. How's that? My phone upgraded about a month ago, and it's never been right since. Aussie Outlaw says no fire or trauma, meaning any kind of physical destruction, caused them buildings to fail, including Building 7. Nope, that's true. I could go through the physics of it, and maybe I will, but in order for that plane to get to those 12 center columns, it had to go through 150 feet is about the wingspan, and every 3 foot was a vertical 12-inch by 12-inch I-beam. So that would be 50 vertical columns, high-strength steel, 50 of them, 50. And it was on an angle, so it had to go through an 8-inch concrete floor. Not possible. But forget that. Building 7 somehow started out with an office fire on the ground floor, and by 5 o'clock, which is not possible, collapsed. It's all subterfuge to keep you from knowing what really happened. And they got away with it. And it took 20 years for the NIST report to come out. And the day that happened, they went to war with another country, and the NIST report was buried. Why did it take 20 years? Why did Giuliani immediately start taking truckloads of debris away from the basement or the World Trade Center? Because there was explosive nodules in the debris. Ferrous metal, ferrous oxide, and aluminum. There was in a type of explosive. I don't want to say the name because it screws up my algorithms. But he knew this. Trump knew that it was impossible. All the firemen said there were multiple squib-load explosions all throughout the drop of the building. They knew this. They just jammed it into the collective derriere of the American people. Meanwhile, Rumsfeld or Cheney, that said there was $2 trillion missing from the Treasury Department's account books. Oh, the plane just happened to hit the Pentagon and destroy the only records. This is nonsense. Are you people stupid? Do you think that the accounting office in the Pentagon was the only place that those documents were stored in computers there? That stuff is backed up by the NSA in other terminals in other parts of the world underground. The building, the Pentagon has, yes, it had probably a lot of files that may not have been backed up, but $2 trillion worth of accounting had to be backed up someplace else. They just stole that money from you, $2 trillion, and they whacked it up amongst the politicians, judges, mayors, senators, congressmen, lawyers that work for the government. Just let's not see anything. Let's be blind to this injustice. And they killed 3,000 Americans. They did this to you because they could. Could they get away with it today? Yep. And they're doing it again by giving Ukraine $150 billion that's not accounted for in any way, shape, or form. Nowhere is there an accounting for where that money is going. Nowhere is there an accounting that they gave them $10 billion. Where did it go? It just disappeared. You people are just as stupid now as you were 22 years ago, and you don't see it. So this guy that I said should be president, the Indian, Vivek Ramaswamy, if you listen to his video that I'm going to give you the link for, he's an Indian that was born in America from Indian parents who are both highly successful in their fields. One's a doctor and one is something else on that level of education. And if you listen to the video that I'm going to post now, he has no love at all for the transgender community. He doesn't disagree with it. but he has no love for it. And he also said that he believes that if you want to be a transgender, it's okay to do so, but you must make that choice after the age of 18, not before. So this fella here, he's actually making sense. He even brought up the fact that legally you have to be 18 to get a tattoo to change, alter your body in any way, shape, or form. The law says that you have to be 18 to get a tattoo. It's not followed, but that's the law. And he just agrees with that wholeheartedly. He wants to pass regulations that if you want to go through transgender surgery, if you want to make love to a ladyboy in Thailand, it's your prerogative. It's 100% your prerogative, but he wants you to make that decision after you're 18 or older. He is completely against the power that a small percentage, less than 1/3 of 1% of the people of this world have now taken over the United States publishing, the news media, 100%. And do you know why? Somebody on here, nobody, I'm going to look for that, how long that fire rating is. Somebody on here tell me why that the news media, tell me why all the big corporations, I want to see the initials. Tell me why all of the big corporations went woke. I want to see an answer, because I don't think most of you know what the answer is. And if someone said it, I would believe that 99% of the people that read it wouldn't have a clue. But I know, because this is what I've been doing since I've been on my operation. Plus, I've had 3 days of no internet or little internet, which I have a video coming out about that, how to do the fiber optics repair. But I had 4 men at my house yesterday. 2 were new cable men. They found a break up the block. My internet was going on and going off and going on and going off and going on and going off for 3 weeks. So tell me why all the big corporations are going woke. You can do it with 3 initials. If you get the right 3 initials, I'll give you credit for that. Black Smoke says Aussie Outlaw means oxygen, start fire. Of course, but because there's no oxygen to make a blue or white or red flame. That's right. See, he knows. And Farmer, why when a plane hits a mountain, does it enter the mountain first before the explosion? You're an idiot. Why, when a plane hits the mountain, does it enter the mountain first before it explodes? Well, do you have slowed down footage of that? Of course, it's going to have to hit the mountain before it explodes. What kind of stupid question is that? 90% of the fuel is in the wings and in the lower belly of the aircraft. It has to hit the mountain. It has to disassemble itself. It has to destroy the frame, and then there has to be a spark. What, you think it's all, what, the nose of the airplane hits and the gas that's in the wing tanks blows up? Come on, stop asking stupid questions. That's why you are a follower of some of the dumbest people on YouTube. Scott Del Fuego. Hey, Scott. You people should understand when Michael is being facetious and when he is being, oh, I'm being serious. This is no joke. America is collapsing right before your people's faces. You have no clue why it's happening. You people, I've been silent on the Dylan Mulvaney issue because I have something planned for that. And I'm gonna prove to you that Bud Light does make you gay. There's no doubt in my mind that that's happened to people, even in the Thailand community. The people that have been drinking Bud Light, they go into a 7-Eleven, they buy a Bud Light, and 3 minutes later they're in a bar, a gay bar in Thailand. Bud Light makes you gay, man. It definitely makes you gay, whether you want to believe it or not. It's true. Dylan Mulvaney is just the spokesperson for that. But now it's been proven. Even the guy with the all those people making the commercials, they are fully assured that Bud Light makes you gay. Now, some people will say it's not the Bud Light, it's the drug in Bud Light, and I was drugged. Either way, they may have some sort of a chemical in Bud Light that when you drink it, it makes you gay. It's happened before. It happened in Thailand. A guy went into a 7-Eleven, bought a couple of Bud Lights, and came out and went immediately into a gay bar. Yeah, that's true. You all know it's true. Let's... Bud Light makes you gay. USA wasn't the only country locked down. As a matter of fact, my city of Melbourne was locked down longer than any other city or place in the world. Now, that's true. Melbourne, that's true. We'll talk about more about Bud Light makes you gay. I got an idea for a commercial. Oof. I got an idea for a commercial that'll prove that Bud Light makes you gay. Yeah. Well, you could call it being drugged. You could call it whatever you want, but Bud Light makes you gay. That's true. I saw it happen. I watched it live. I recorded it live. DNC. Let's talk about this. Silverman insured those buildings for $1 billion each a month before the attack. He knew that it was going to happen. That's the guy. Oh, maybe Ann Farmer, maybe I got you wrong. Let me see your reasoning. Maybe I got you wrong. Maybe I misread your statement. Let me go through the mail. They're in lockstep. That's right. They're in lockstep with Israel. The plane enters the building and then it explodes. Why then did the same plane hit a mountain? It explodes on contact. Okay, Ann Farmer is right. Sorry, my apologies. There was no plane. First of all, I was a deckhand in 1968 or 69 for my dad. My dad was the master captain on the reclamation job of World Trade Center. The World Trade Center reclamation job that they built the buildings between the World Trade Center and Hudson River. My dad ran the Polemark and the Lillian Rose. They were big 85-foot tugboats. And he would move all the barges around for the dumb scouts. We used to go get pylons upstate New York. I watched how the buildings were built, but at 5:30 in the morning, my dad rolled up into the parking lot of World Trade Center where they had the rock crushers, and he would start up the tugboat. It was the summertime, but I was a deckhand, me and Donald Sturdivant, who later ran the ringer barge for the Union. For 25 years, he was the captain on the ringer barge. So Donald Sturdivant and I used to go up. We had hard hat. We were dressed as we were workers. And we went a Bantayan brawler. Bud Light makes you gay, baby. Ask anybody in Thailand. Ask anybody in Thailand. Let me go through the comments. I'll get to you in a minute, Bantayan Bro. I got your message. You're welcome, by the way. So, the plane entered the building, then it explodes. Okay, so, first of all, the wingspan on the plane was, I don't know, say it was 150 feet. Okay, but at the tips, the aircraft is only maybe 7 or 8 feet, the wings. There's not enough what they call energy in those wings to go into the building through those 12-inch high tensile strength steel beams that held the windows in place. I walked those decks, not steel. I walked on the deck of the 86th floor when I was working on the tugboat. Donald Sturdivant and I used to go up to the top of the World Trade Center and have our coffee on the top floor. And when there was only a half-inch piece of wire going around the beams as a safety, there was no safety netting or anything like that. It was just a piece of half-inch rope steel, rope wire going around the perimeter. And we used to watch the harbor. I may have pictures of that. I don't know. I have 7,000 pictures. I don't remember what all of them are. But I have pictures on the tugboat dumping the scows and stuff like that. But the wings might only be like 1.5 feet thick by 7 feet long. In order to take that aluminum wing and send it through, let's say the first 15 feet from the wingtip, you have 12-inch by 12-inch by 1-inch thick steel reinforced with rivets and buckling, anti-buckling mechanisms and knee braces and chairs and saddles on the beam. It has to go through those 12-inch beams. So 15 feet would have to go through 5 of those beams. It's not possible. There's not enough kinetic energy in the steel to go through the beams. And the plane completely disappeared through the beams. That's not possible. It's not possible that the planes went through the entire every 3 feet of steel beams without anything falling outside the purview of the building. That's not possible. It's just not theoretically, physically, not possible. And it happened. And there was no proof, none whatsoever, zero proof that happened. Yet, hey, Allo, the great Allo de Winter, who loves the marvelous Michael Fazio, ding, 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 ding. We're going to ding, ding, ding for Ant Farmer in a moment. Thanks for all your shout-outs, Allo. So it's not possible for that to happen. And now the plane went through 50 12-inch by 12-inch I-beams. There are people on my chat right now that know that's not possible. Physics, the energy needed to go through those 50 columns, maybe you could do it at 20 times the speed of sound. I don't know. Maybe the planes would just get sliced up into little pieces at 20 times the speed of sound. But it's not possible to find that out. We'll talk about the Pentagon as a separate issue. It's not physically possible for the planes to have gone through 50 vertical columns and then hit 12 columns, 3 feet by 4 foot. The steel on those columns is 4.5 inches thick all the way around the column and back. Plus, there's a channel, an H channel in the middle. Plus, there's 2-inch high tensile strength steel rope inside there and/or steel cable. Okay, what would happen if the plane, if you could somehow reenact that accident, that destructive attack by the United States government against its own people. If you could take that plane and hit those center columns, forget that the plane was on an angle like this, and in the middle of that angle right here was a floor, forget the 8 inches of concrete floor that it also had to go through about 75 to 100 feet before it got to the columns around the elevator. If you could take that plane and hit those columns at 500 miles an hour, nothing at all would happen to the columns. Nothing would happen to the columns. It would knock the asbestos cover off the columns. Maybe on one side where it hit, it might offset them, and we're talking about 1/4 of an inch. There's just not enough kinetic energy to damage the beams. What would happen is the plane would hit those columns. Nothing is saying that the nose of the plane hit it because they never gave us that information. But if it hit at the wing or it hit the nose, wherever it hit, those pieces would scrunch down like a lead bullet, and the plane would fall down under the weight of supposed gravity, but what is really known as density, because there is no such thing as gravity on the flat Earth. But moving past that, no possible way there would be enough kinetic energy. Maybe at the speed of light, it could go through all of those beams, but we're talking about approaching speeds that are still not yet possible. Forget about the speed of light. How about 20 times the speed of sound? That's not possible. It was theorized that at 20 times the speed of sound, or at 15,000 miles an hour, maybe the plane could have damaged those steel beams. That was one theory, but it was negated because we can't do it. And that every scientist, everybody knows that's not possible. Let me read some more comments. I got to get a pot. I got to get a pot. You people don't think that having a pot is important, but Ant Farmer made getting a pot one of the most important jobs of my day. Plus, the great Aloe de Winter is in the house, and there's nothing better than a good ding when Aloe's here to listen to me sing. Ding, 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 goes the trolley. Ding, 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 goes the winter. The winter is in the house. Scott Fuego is in the house. Bossy Outlaw is in the house. Ant Farmer is making me sing and making me ding. I'm about ready to bust out a tune because it sounds good and it rhymes with moon. Ant Farmer, Salamat. And Farmer knows the truth. He's a chemical engineering sleuth. Captain Billy Jack has arrived. He knows that we will survive. Hello, ding, 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 ding. Hello, ding, 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 ding. Scott del Fuego, he said Aloe has nuggets of steel. Aloe, he stole the show from everybody, including the real deal. Aloe, I missed getting into the room, but the aftermath was worth all the doom and gloom. Aloe is the GOAT of trolls on YouTube. Aloe knows the benefits of being the GOAT of YouTube. No one in all of history will beat Aloe. When I saw that, I busted a nut. Knowing what you did to the judge was completely insane. The thumbs up from that lady was worth $1 million. My Aloe de Winter short got 2,000 views that day. Aloe de Winter, he is a hero among trolls. And Farmer made this song possible because he understands physics and science. And Farmer, thank you. was right about the plane. How did the plane get through the building and then blow up and melt 4.5 inches of steel? That is the question by the ant farmer that we must seal. Dark Sider is better than that clown, the writer. Whoever that writer guy is, he's on the wrong track. Not like Aloe, who cracked us up beyond anything that's ever happened on YouTube before, ever. Ding, 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 ding. Goes the bucket. The judge's face was worth $1 million. When Aloe said, oh, I've been drinking all night, the judge went like this. He went. His face squirmed up and he looked at an empty courtroom. Come on. That was worth $1 million. I just checked out. How is that? Do we have any sound here? Is it coming back to sound? No. Audio is back. Okay. Thank you. God, I made Aloe a freaking national hero. I'll have to do it again. Easy to do. Aloe the winter is the goat of all trolls. He's the goat that trolled the judge. He's the goat that trolled the Henderson's lawyer. He exposed more truth in 3 minutes than all the rest of us have done in years. Do we have any sound here? Because of Aloe, the ding ding, the winter, the truth has come to the surface like cream rises to the top. Aloe. And we thank Ant Farmer for our super chat today, making Aloe the man of the day, the hour, the year, the century. Who in their right mind would ever challenge Aloe to a troll? Don't even waste your time. When Aloe made the judge go like this, and the judge was looking at an empty courtroom, I fell off my box. I sit on a wooden box with no cushion, 8 or 10 hours a day, because I'm a real man. If you don't believe it, I'm gonna stand up now and I'm gonna show you the box I sit on without any cushion, because I don't have those physicality like the ladies have. The ladies have to sit on a prim and proper cushion, but I need no such thing. I personally can just sit on this box. I'm going to reach down. I'm going to show you. I'm going to reach down now. Watch. Reach down. And I'm going to show you my box. Look at this. A nice, comfortable plywood box with no cushion, because it gives you power. You take the energy from the hollow of the box and it brings power up your kundalini. I don't have to lay down in bed or lay on a couch or sit on a cushioned chair. I can sit on a wooden box and be happy, because everybody knows he's broke. But thanks to people like Captain Billy Jack, I was able to buy a $1,350 drone. And thanks to people like Billy Jack, I was able to buy a $1,380 phone. Because I'm broke. Without Captain Billy Jack's super chat, I would be broke. And then I went on vacation. I was also broke. And then I lived in the Philippines being broke, not able to pay my visa fees. Never late on a visa fee ever. For 8 years, I am broke. Daisy May and Michael Fazio are never going to see each other again. She hates Michael Fazio. And that didn't happen either. So let me ask you people, when you hear stories about me being broke, what is it that's inside your little minds that you don't understand? That probably I spend more money in the Philippines than most of you. That's a fact. And I don't have an income. I'm not on SSDI. I'm not on Social Security. I don't do any work in the Philippines, and yet you fools believe I'm broke. You people are as dumb as rocks. Allo the goat, he climbs mountain tops. He trolled the judge, he trolled the lawyer. The judge's face was worth $1 million. I'll give that to you now. Ready? The judge went, Allo said, yeah, I've been drinking all night. And the judge went like this, he went. He looked at an empty courtroom. Allo jammed up the judge, baby. Allo zoomed the judge on Zoom. Let me go back to the comments. Thanks, Allo. Thanks, Ant Farmer. Captain Billy Jack is in the house. Scott Del Fuego is in the house. Captain Billy Jack. Obama. Obama is right here, baby. Obama is never far. Obama, he's another president that tried to destroy America, and when he failed, Mr. Trump succeeded. You people don't get it. Don't get me started. I'll go back to the beginning. Was the outlaw? Benny Hill, what would you have made the aluminum? Molten? And what was the aluminum from? Oh, yeah. Ozzy Outlaw was all throughout the building when the charges were going off before the building collapsed. It was melting. Actually, it was melting the facade of the World Trade Center, which was an aluminum facade. Everybody knows this. I had the pleasure to be in the World Trade Center before they put the windows in on the 86th, 87th, 88th floor. It was a trip. I might have pictures of my dad's tugboat, but when he wanted us, he knew we were up there because we would tell him we were going up to the top. And he would go beep with the big horn, and we would go down the service elevator. He'd give us 15 minutes to get downstairs, and then we go on the tugboat, and we would run up and down the East River or the Hudson River, moving car floats, scows, crane barges, anchors, stuff like that. But I was there when they were building the Trade Center. You're not going to bust through all that steel. Darksider says, Darksiders, where we go. Open Chemical Physics Journal has the proper paper on the subject. Active thermatic material discovered in dust from 9/11 World Trade Center catastrophe. Of course. That's why, thank you very much, Darksider. That's why Giuliani started removing the debris right away. And I'm going to tell you something else about the debris. I asked Joel A. Mealy, the number 2, because his mother was Jewish. About 3 days after, if you guys could look this up, it's still there. It was there 2 years ago. The news, Joel A. Mealy was the 3rd vice mayor of New York City under Giuliani. I'll tell you a story about Giuliani being corrupt. I'll swear to it. My mother would swear to it. My father would swear to it if they were alive. We watched Giuliani take a paper bag of money, probably money, from Tony Moscatello, who lived at 162, say 30, 31 or 35, 95th Street. We watched Giuliani before he became mayor, when he was the district attorney. We watched Giuliani pull up in a limousine, go into Joel A. Mealy's house, have dinner. His security was outside with the limousine. Him and Joe walked across the street. Joe owned a house on both sides of the street. He walked into his backyard of his second house on the block. Immediately behind that house was Tony Moscatello's house. Tony Moscatello. Tony Moscatello was basically an accountant, and a little bit more for John Gotti. But he was the consigliere for John Gotti at that time, or one of them. Giuliani handed Tony Moscatello. Now, from our kitchen window, you could see Tony Moscatello's house, and you could see the back of Mealy's house. There was a 4-foot fence behind the houses, just a 4-foot cyclone fence. And Joe and Tony started talking, and Rudy Giuliani was there. And whenever that limousine pulled up, they went to the back of the house. Tony would come out of the back of his house. Giuliani would hand Tony Moscatello a satchel of papers, an envelope, a brown envelope, and Tony Moscatello would hand Giuliani a paper bag probably filled with money. That happened multiple times, and that's how John Gotti got the name the Teflon Don, because his lawyer knew everything about the case, and each time Giuliani gave him an out, how to get out of the charges. And of course, this was all choreographed by the district attorney's office and whoever else was getting that money. I watched it happen from my mother's kitchen window. You could believe what you want. That's a true story. Now, back to Darksider. So Darksider says there were active thermatic material in all of the debris. And that's true. Aluminum oxide and iron oxide mix causes a 4,000 degree thermatic or thermo charge, a heat charge. Those two mixed in the proper amounts. So they knew. Now we're going to go to DNC, who said that Larry Silverstein, DNC only said Silverstein. I'm way past those comments. Larry Silverstein, DNC knows the truth as well. It's way up on the top here. Okay, let's take a look at this. Okay, I don't know why this camera's acting up. DNC somewhere up here said, DNC said that Silverstein paid $1 billion of insurance. Hey, Scott Del Fuego says I'm losing weight. Thank you, Scott. The singing. I'll take the pot over the singing. I missed those comments. I had to go back up. How are you today, Mr. Allo? Benny Hill says, at 8:46, American Airlines Flight 11 hit the World Trade Center at a speed of 430 knots. At 9:03, United Flights hit the World Trade Center, too, at 510 knots. That's not enough to cause a catastrophic failure. A catastrophic failure means that one thing will cascade into another thing. I think that was the point of Benny Hill. Thank you for that comment. DNC right here. For one, I have never seen anyone cut steel with aluminum. Before that, he said something that I can't get back up to. All right. The ladder company made it all the way to the building trauma and reported the fire that it was small and didn't require much extinguishing. That's true. Building 7 had a paper and desk and file cabinet fire. Never before in the history of the world did any steel structure ever collapse from any fire, even if it was a complete burn from down to the ground. No, the building structure remained intact. And the ladder company made it all the way to the building and then said that the water was shut off or the water pipes were broke. And that happened at 9 o'clock or 9:30 in the morning. So they had enough time to get water trucks to Building 7 and didn't do so. Scott is asking Captain Billy Jack, how you doing? How you doing, Scott, says Captain Billy Jack. Allo said, I missed that metal bucket. Allo, you too can be part of the bucket brigade. I will bang a bucket for you anytime, Allo. You know that. Jack, I'm laughing by Fazio is a nut. L.A. laughing my ass off, says Captain Billy Jack. Pots and pans. Darksider. Pots and pans, check. Bang a pot, check. The weight loss is apparent, check. I didn't delete that. This stuff makes me feel relaxed. Yes, because Allo is always relaxed in a catastrophic event. Allo takes pride in being able to relax during catastrophic events. That judge went home and laughed his butt off. That judge went home and watched your video, because I know that video was sent to the judge and sent to the Henderson's attorney. I know that for a fact. And I read that in the chat somewhere. I still have the puppets. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I got the puppets right here, baby. You want to see me? You want to see me give Mr. Obama a little squeeze on the head? I still like giving Mr. Obama a little squeeze on the head. Mr. Obama. Oh, no. Oh, no, Rabbi. Rabbi Jabarka, no. No. Yes, Mr. Obama. And soon, I'm going to take you swimming, Mr. Obama. Soon as the doctor says I can go swimming, I'm going to take Mr. Obama along. I'm going to take Mr. Obama out to the reef. I won't be able to do much snorkeling. They don't want me to go underwater with my ear like that, but I'm going to take him swimming. I got a brand new set of snorkel and goggles, and that came with earplugs. So I'll be able to swim as soon as the doctor says you can go swimming. But no more snorkeling, unfortunately. But I'll be able to squeeze Mr. Obama's head underwater and make bubbles. Remember how I used to make bubbles come out of Mr. Obama's head? He's a good Obama. Oh, yeah. Right, Mr. Obama? Kisses for me. Kisses for Mr. Obama. Yeah. Please stop singing. Captain Billy Jack, that's not the first time you have requested that I don't sing. But thank you, Captain Billy Jack. Captain Billy Jack. Captain Billy Jack. He made me sing. He made me ding. He's the captain of the Billy Jack. Salama, Captain Billy Jack is where it's at. Hello, Big Billy Jack, DNC. Darksider 2 and the Ed Farmer, DNC. They are all here with me. I have an audience outside. They must be new to Ding Ding Ding. What's going on? Why is he singing? I think tomorrow I'm going to go next door and give you guys a video. The men, about 12 men, have been working on building a cover over part of the property. They've been working on it for since I got home from the hospital. I was 16 days ago. 12 men, 16 days to put up like a lean-to from a concrete wall that was already there. Well, they put it up last month, 2 months ago, but it took them 6 days to frame out a roof about 20 feet wide by 15 feet deep. And that was just the frame, about 6 days. In America, when I was in my 30s, I would have the posts would go in on day one. The ledger board would go up on day two, as would all the framework for the entire roof, 15 feet deep. I'd put 16-foot joists on it, every 16 inches on center, and sheathe it with plywood. 16 days, and they didn't sheathe it yet, as of yesterday. But I'll make a video of that tomorrow. I don't mean to. They never stop working either. But they're cutting the 2x4s and all the joists, the ledger board. They're cutting it all with a handsaw. But they have a power miter on the job. Job security, baby. Let's get back to Captain Billy Jack. Thank you, Captain Billy Jack. LOL says, dark side, Aussie outlaw. In 1945, an American bomber ran straight into, that's right, straight into the Empire State Building in a fog. It was reopened several weeks later. Nothing happened to the Empire State Building from that bomber. That's right. And the Empire State Building is nowhere near, did not have an outside skeleton, did not have 36 by 42 inch center beams. So you're right about that. I know all about that. Thank you very much for the Aussie Outlaw comment. View Aloes. LOL. Aloe says, I just checked out your short on here about the court hearing. 2,000 views. That's right. It was 1970, I think, last time I checked. Molten metal leads to thermite. That's right. Molten metal can only occur from a thermitic heat from something that's higher than the melting point of aluminum. And that's the only way that that's possible. TNT would blow up. Gasoline wouldn't be enough. It would have to be a chemical burn. And that's what it was. Thank you very much, Aussie Outlaw. Aloe says, he just checked out the court hearing. Ha ha ha. Aloe, you are the GOAT when it comes to trolling. Nobody will ever, I don't care if YouTube goes on, there's no political troll. There's not going to be anybody that's ever going to match the Aloe de Winter troll. That 30-minute, that 1 minute and 31 second clip, which I did not put any names in, so nobody could flag my video. I intentionally made it so and then gave the link out. If you want to watch the link, that's up to you. But that 19-second clip that I posted is the bomb. That is the best troll in YouTube history, bar none. But, Aloe, let me explain this to you. You said 2 weeks ago that there's only about 500 people in the Philippines community. There are maybe, give or take, 50 or 100, that many people in the community. And our posts never go further than those 400 or 500 people. Otherwise, a cool video like I put up of the Lobach River cruise would get 10,000 views. Any other Lobach River cruise video from anybody that even has only 1,000 subs, that's not part of the genre, and I'll tell you how that works, gets 5,000, 10,000, 15,000 views in a few weeks. Our videos, because we only watch 15 or 20 people's channels, the algorithm says Michael Fazio watches Aloe de Winter. Michael Fazio watches Big Kevin. Michael Fazio watches My Philippines Interest. Michael Fazio watches that guy, the Flipper, the man who's called the Flipper. I forget his first name. MJ the Flipper. Michael Fazio watches some videos from Thailand. Michael Fazio watches Barry Jordan videos, or Jarrett's videos. And those 15 or 20 people that Michael Fazio watches, the links, the notice will go out to those 15 or 20 people, but the notice will also go out to the people that follow those 15 or 20 people's videos. But that's it. The algorithm stops it at that point. That's true. Otherwise, my videos that for the Lobach River or the Enchanted Forest or Chocolate Hills, a drone video from Chocolate Hills should get 50,000 views. But YouTube has you in what is called, I call it a kill box, because you're only allowed to see the videos from, you're only going to get notices from the people that watch your videos, whose videos you watch, and who watches those videos. If they post something, maybe they have a few videos on their channel, maybe you'll see it, an offhand one-off notice as a suggestion. But other than that, we're in a box. We're never going anywhere. You got to accept that. Otherwise, Aloe's troll video would have 100 million views already. That's true. For not 100 million, 1 million views. It would have that already. Any worthless blogger that puts out a video like that would have had 1 million views in 2 weeks. So we are being subjected to the number twos who run the world and run Trump and made Trump kiss their rump in the great state of Israel when he was banging his head on that block wall. Aloe de Winter says, Scott Del Fuego says, Michael Fazio, mechanic, romantic, brigand, pots, wives and daughters banged since 1960s. A product of Queens. I never deleted any of your comments, by the way. I don't know how that happened. Give that judge face again. Okay, one more time. Aloe de Winter said, I've been drinking all night. I died laughing. And the judge, his eyes, you look at it on my, like a big screen that I have, his eyes squinted a little bit like this. Like I could hear his thoughts. He was saying, what did he just say? But his left eye twinged a little bit too. His left eye closed and then twinged. But to exasperate that, the judge's face went like this. It went like that guy on the Pink Panther, the captain of the Pink Panther, the Inspector Clouseau. His eyes like that. Aloe made the judge go like this. And he turns to the courtroom, and there's nobody there. Just like he was thinking that nobody said something that stupid. Aloe de Winter is the GOAT, baby. Greatest of all time. Aloe de Winter, #1 troll in the world. Nobody will ever top that troll. That should have 100 million views. I'm not even kidding you about that. That I think it should have 100 million views. And do you know what I get? You know what you get for shorts? That short video got, let's say it gets 2,000 views by the end of today. I get 4 cents, four American pennies for each 1,000 views of shorts. Anybody get, that's all you get, is 4 cents for each 1,000 views. So I've spent about $200 in time talking about it based on my base rate of $50 an hour, and it cost, and I made 8 cents. Just letting you know, feel generous, but Aloe has no such fault. He has no he don't give money to nobody, Aloe. He made that perfectly clear when he was helping with my court case. Not that I asked him, but he said, I'm happy to give you my time to help you with your court case, but I'll never give you a dime. Right straight up, honest as the day is long. So I would not call Allo cheap at all, because Allo gave me $10,000 worth of advice for free. All he charged me was a couple of good laughs. We had some good times on the chat. So that was fun. That was fun. That was fun to become friends with somebody that I thought was completely insane, and to find out that he's actually completely almost normal. Almost normal. Nobody is perfectly normal, but he's as close to being intelligent as normal as you could get. He has a crazy sense of humor. You got to be part of it to understand. Moving on, he made the judge quiver. The judge's eye was quivering. The judge's eye was quivering like a libido in the wind. Olivia, Flavia, like that in the wind. He is lip syncing. Darksider, does he have new puppets? No. I have a Trump puppet. I have the Obama puppet. No, I don't. The puppets thing. The puppets got me banned from YouTube. He's going to have to. I sang the song. Well, Ann Farmer knows. I'm going to sing the song again. Ann Farmer's right. Lockstep here. Darksider, where is the Obama? Got that. Molten metal may have been aluminum. That's true. Lost audio. That was true. Lost audio from Owl. That was true. Captain Billy Jack Scott Del Fuego. Don't tell him about the. Don't tell him about the. Laughing my ass. Now, Benny Hill. Aussie Outlaw. The plane is made from aluminum, and there was an intense fire. But that would not melt the plane. Benny Hill. The fuel. Okay, the fuel. If you're implying that the fuel from, look, I'm an A&P mechanic. I know you've heard me say that, but I really am. Look it up in the FAA. The FAA has my name, Michael Thomas Fazio, Aviation High School graduate with the power plant mechanics license, 1973, 1975, aviation extended 12th, graduated with a airframe license from the hangar. So I did all my practical, I did all my theory, I did 4 years of schooling. So a plane, okay, so on Friday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, every Friday, 352 weeks a year, every Friday, we could stand on top of the Hawtree Creek Basin Bridge and look at North Hangar Road. And what they did on North Hangar Road was they would bring a fuel truck up to an airplane that was there, and they would spray the airplane with gasoline, spray it, douse it, put canisters in it. I never got close, but they would put enough gasoline in the airplane on North Hangar Road at 2 o'clock in Kennedy Airport every week from the time I was a little baby. From the time I was 5, we could go up on the bridge and watch the airport and local firemen go to the plane and put out the fire every week. It was a practice experiment. The same plane was used for years. The plane doesn't melt. Aluminum melts at 1,600 degrees. Jet fuel burns at 475 degrees, unless it's atomized under pressure. They used the same plane for 10 years. Maybe they changed it at 5 years, but it didn't melt upon burning. Atomized fuel is different than stagnant fuel fire. A stagnant fuel fire is going to burn at 450 degrees. And proof, I've proved this so many times. Proof is you have a $10 metal barbecue in your backyard. Everybody has one. And you put coal in that barbecue. Everybody's used a coal-fired round pan metal barbecue with 16-gauge metal since they were child. if we're anywhere in their 40s, 50s, or 60s. And that coal burns at 1100 degrees. And we've used those same coal barbecues for 10 years, putting coal in them at 1100 degrees, not for minutes, but for hours. Barbecue on the 4th of July, 5 hours, that thing pumping coal into that barbecue. Did it ever melt the bottom of the barbecue? Did it ever disform it? No. Eventually, the bottom rusted out. But why? The bottom rusted out because you got water in the barbecue, under the coal. It stayed wet. It oxidized, and that's what rotted out the barbecue. If you cleaned that barbecue out every time you used it, took the coal out, and brought the barbecue in the house where rain wouldn't hit it, it would last for 30 years. But all of those barbecues lasted 10 years with 1100-degree coal in the barbecue. It's impossible for 450-degree heat to melt 1-inch steel. When 1/16-inch barbecue steel at 1100 degrees nothing happens to it. It's true. Nobody will argue that point from a physics point of view or an engineering structural point of view. It can't be argued. It's a fact. They have lied to you the same way they're lying to you about the Ukraine war, the same way Trump lied to you about vaccination program. He said one vaccination is going to cure the virus. Then he said a vaccination program, they're up to 3 or 4 plus a booster. He's a liar. He will destroy America on his next time up at bat, which is why I say to give this fella, Vivek Ramaswamy, a chance at becoming the president. He's a much, much better person than Trump ever could be. And he's also an American citizen. And he is rated number 5 in the Republican Party. He deserves a shot at the presidency. And I'm not kidding. Dark Side, Open Chemical Physics Journal, has the paper on the subject. Active thermite material discovered in dust. Actually, it's called thermite nodules. Yes. Aussie Outlaw says, Benny Hill, I suggest you read the comments above or rewind. There was no intense fire. The fireball lasted 30 seconds. And then that was the most intense moment. And after that, it was just a smoldering office furniture, plastic, paper, towels, cloth benches, couches. Everything else was fireproof. The ceiling tiles were fireproof. The rugs were fireproof. You have no idea. There was no. It would have to be 450 degrees for 450 years. Even if the metal went up to 450 degrees, nothing's going to happen. It doesn't start to lose structural integrity till 1700 degrees, and it can never get down. You have been lied to. Benny Hill, thank you for stopping by the way. No sound again. Benny Hill begs to differ. Okay, that you're welcome to do that. Then you are wrong, says Aussie Outlaw, and that would be true. Benny Hill saying sound, Scott sound. DNC, how I fixed that was I shut off my my Android phone completely. I shut it off and then restarted it. And even though I shut it off, the stream was still going because I have it open on my computer, I think. But as soon as I rebooted, the sound came back. That was how I fixed it. I never say anything important, DNC. Don't worry about it. Aloe de Winter. No sound. Only Michael Fazio could keep people around for so long with no sound. He's a legend. Benny Hill with lots of smiles. Thank you, Benny Hill. View. Throw in a big I, big E, I, oh. That's right. That's what that judge did. The judge saw Big E doing the eye twitch, and Big E got it from the Pink Panther, the movie. The judge gave Allo a Big E eye twitch, which goes. It's his left eye, so I could do it from the sun. So the judge looked at the Pink Panther. Big E looked at the big Pink Panther video, and then the judge looked at Big E videos, and the judge gave him a Big E eye twitch like this. You jammed that judge up solid. For 15 seconds, that judge was in an alternate reality. That's true. For 15 seconds, when that judge, when you're lying, you may look down. There's some sort of psychology between when you're looking for an answer, you look up. When you're thinking, searching for an answer. But when your mind is frozen, you give him a big eye twitch. You flanch your lips a little bit, twitch your lips a little bit too, because I think that's the way he rolls. And then for 15 seconds, it took that judge 15 seconds to regroup. That's true. That's true. That judge was jammed up. He was not looking. What was he looking at? An empty courtroom. He was saying he was looking to regroup his thoughts. Allo jammed up that judge. That is the greatest troll in all of history. No, I never saw a better one. Ha 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 ha, says Allo. Human circus, DNC. Ha, LOL. How did all these messages get deleted? I must have pushed the wrong button. Okay. View deleted message. LOL. Benny Hill. This is why it pays to keep an eye on the chat more up. You're right. You're right, Benny Hill, but I really stink at this live stream, and I'm really not that good at it. I'm just learning. I still don't. I have a phone that's supposed to be able to edit. I can't edit. I don't even know how to impose one picture on top of another picture. I know nothing about computers. Nothing at all. I just talk into it. Sounds okay now. Picture sideways. Well, that's we went sideways. Allo made the judge look sideways. We went sideways. So what else did Trump lie about? Let's go back to that. Trump lied about. Okay, Trump came down the elevator, and within a certain period, a certain amount of talking points, he said, if I'm elected, I'm going to clean up voter fraud. That will be the first thing I will do as president, is eliminate voter fraud. Do you know that Trump never spoke about voter fraud again until 3 weeks before the next election? Never spoke about voter fraud again, knowing that it happened to him, against him, and that he was going to clean it up. Knowing that it happened in the previous election, he never did anything about it because he loves voter fraud. He made billions. You don't think that Trump had, I'd wager everything I ever earned in my life that I have saved, which is why I don't have to go on Social Security. Everything I've done in life, everything I own in life, I would wager big big, all, I'd wager all, that Trump knew that the pharmaceutical companies were going to make billions. And I would wager big, big money that he passed that information around to all his friends, relatives, cousins, second, third, fourth cousins, friends, that you're going to make a killing on the pharmaceutical companies. Invest now, years before the event, because he knew it was coming. Because that's the kind of guy he is. He's in bed with the number twos. His daughter married a number two. His grandchildren were bar mitzvah, no, brought into the Jewish faith, into the number two religion. I'm not sure if they are the curly Q religion or Hasidic religion. I don't know which one of the number twos he is. There's a lot of different number twos. It's not like there's just one number two. There's a number two, and then there's the number two with the curly head, and there's the number two that the rabbinical rabbis. There's all kinds of number twos. And not all of them are full-blown number twos. Some of them hate the number twos, other number twos. In fact, they're revolting right now in Israel against the government. And they've been revolting for years against Netanyahu becoming reelected. So not all number twos are true twos. There are true twos, and then there are number twos. And it's up to you to figure out whose curl is more powerful. That's the truth. There's no way to know, because they're very, very, very smooth. Smooth is a good word, right? That'll keep me from getting a strike. They're a very smooth race of beings. And also, there is the TULMUD twos, the dreaded TULMUD twos. Yeah, you heard it here first. The TULMUD, which, by the way, all people of the United States government are under the control of the TULMUD rules and regulations. In fact, in America right now today, if you were to say to yourself, somebody would say to you, what religion are you? And you say, I'm a Christian. You realize that the number twos, the TULMUDs, passed the law in 1991 on, oh man, the rabbinical laws, the Talmud law. I knew this information. George Herbert Walker Bush passed an ordinance that the Talmud law took effect in America. I'll just look it up. Hold on a minute. That if you denounce Judaism in any way, George, okay, we got to. George Herbert Walker Bush. Look, you look this up. Follow me with this. CEORGHERBER Bush. Talmud TULMUD. Talmud PDF. Let's see if that's it. No, seeing George, the Guide to Holdings. George Herbert Walker Bush. Demonstrate the Bush accomplishments, Bush policy. Herbert Walker Bush, president. Herbert Walker Bush. Oh man, and let's look up. We're gonna have to look up George Herbert Walker Bush and Rabbi R.A. BBI Shearson, SHEARSON. Shearson. Now remember that name, Shearson, to cut something with the shears, right? They can cut your head off if you admit that you're Italian or Catholic. Yeah. Menachem Mendel Shearson, known to many as the Lubavitcher rabbi, or simply the Rebbe, was an Orthodox rabbi, most recent of the Lubavitch. George Herbert Walker Bush, Rabbi Shearson, Talmud TULMUD law, LLAW. Okay, so let's look this up. There's got to be a way. See, they don't want to give this to me. They don't want you to see this. They don't want you to be able to Google us so easily. Make sure all the words were spelled right. They're not giving it to me because they don't want you to know about it. On his birthday, let's look, see, on his birthday, Rabbi Shearson birthday, B-I-R. So for his birthday, his Talmud rules were put in effect. Again, nobody, no rules, no love here. Wow. You used to be able to just put Rabbi Shearson in and it would show up. Now I got to go back and I have to go a different way. I'm going to have to open up Hoodwinked by an Angel, my other channel, and I will give you the link if it's still public. I may have taken that down. That's very, very apolitical, shall we say? Let's non-apolitical, shall we say? Some people might even call it downright prejudiced. Some people. I'm going to have to go to my other channel, and I'm going to give this to you because I made a video about this, and I think it got quite a few views actually, and then they shut my channel down. They gave me a strike for another variation of this same video. They're not allowed to talk about the number twos. You got to be real careful. I'm still waiting for it to open up. It's not opening up. I'll find it. So what George Herbert Walker did on Rabbi Lubavitch's Jewish Talmud on his birthday, he sold the rights to American law, religious law, over to the Talmud Jews. I'm not lying to you. He did that. I'll find it now. It took that long for the internet to let me go over it. I got to switch my account. I got to sign in because I haven't been on YouTube in a while. Okay, signed in. Let's look up George Bush, George, George, and it will come right up. No, I got to go to my videos. Okay, it's in my videos page. You can't look it up the same way that I can. So I'm going to just look up George, George. That'll give it to me right away. Okay. I have 23, George Bush, New World Order, public. It's a public video. President, this one's age restricted. This is... look at the name of this video. Look at the name of this video. This is the old Michael Fazio. This is the old Michael Fazio. I can't open up. This camera's froze. President SCUMINAZI George Bush Sr. President SCUMINAZI George Bush Sr. sold America to the Talmud Jews on March 5th and 7th of 1991. Now, here are the links. NOAHIDE laws passed by Congress, the 1991 death by guillotine. Here's the link. So let's just get this up here. And let's get this up. They all want you not alive, baby. Now, you guys who are here and who watch this, you need to understand that this is real. This is a link that the NOAHIDE laws were passed by Congress in 1991 on March 5th through March 7th in the government of Washington, D.C., and the laws were passed. And inside these NOAHIDE laws, if you say that you're Christian, you have to be literally, and I don't understand why you people don't listen to me, but literally, if you were to say that you're a devout Christian, the NOAHIDE laws, George Herbert Walker Bush sold America to the NOAHIDE, to the TULMUD philosophy. And that means that if you say you're Christian and they say, are you sure you're Christian? And you say, yes, they can literally, the law is, it's a law. It's not an ordinance. It's not a thought. It's not a maybe. They can chop your head off with a guillotine. They can arrest you and chop your head off with a guillotine. And why guillotine? Because if they drug you to death, then they can't salvage a lot of body parts. But if they guillotine you, they can come right in and excavate all the organs they want because the blood is still fresh and flowing. You have no idea. And who is supposedly, we got to get this right. Supposedly that little postage-sized stamp in the Mideast is the biggest purveyor of body parts in the world. That's right. You have no idea what goes on. You people, you listen to me and you make fun of me. No. That's been proven multiple times. So it was just, there was a big scandal for about 3 days that body parts were being sold from that little postage-sized stamp in the Mideast, that they were behind it. Nobody could prove it, but that's what was said. And then the articles disappeared about 4 months ago because they're never going to prove anything against them. They're the chosen people, remember? So let's go back to my link. I'll give you the link. View the entire bill. This is for the history of the world. You guys, this happened in 1991. I made a video about it in 2002 or 2003. It got taken down, and I made another video, this one, about it. You have no idea what goes on. You really don't. All right, so here's another link. This is the full article. Now, these are just links, so I can't get in trouble for that. Plus, they're links to age-restricted videos. So YouTube has no problem with these videos being on YouTube because I don't say anything bad. I don't, you know me, I don't break the rules. So, NOAHIDE laws passed by Congress. Here's the name of the video. Here we go. Here's the name of the video. This is what I used to spend, not my whole life because I had an excavation company, but I would spend a great deal of time doing research like this. In fact, in 2005, I made hundreds of videos saying that the United States government would eventually drop their borders, but I thought it would happen by 2010, and make America a brown civilization. Well, they did that in 2022 when Biden became 2021. Biden became president. His first order of business was to unsecure the border walls. 10,000 people a day is what they know about. Could be 20,000 people a day. All Democrats. A Republican will never win another election in all likelihood. And you people allowed it to happen. Not me, you. I tried to warn you. I warned you for years that this was going to happen. Am I right? Yeah, I'm right, because I watched it unfold. When you people were out, I don't know what you were doing, but when you guys were doing that, I was writing my book, doing research on the terrible things the United States government was doing to its people. Look at Obama. Just take Obama take Obama for a minute, Mr. Obama. We love you, Mr. Obama. I liked remember when I took you into the ocean swimming? Oh yeah, he likes that. They like swimming. Yeah, presidents like swimming. Remember I took you in the ocean and I squeezed your head and made bubbles come out? Oh, yeah, Rabbi. I remember that, Rabbi. That was so much fun. Oh, yeah, I saw the fish. Oh, yeah, Mr. Obama. You love me, Mr. I love you, Rabbi Chewbacca. I love you. Salamat. Kisses from Mr. Obama. So you think that this is some kind of big joke? 10,000 people a day over the border? And what did Trump? Trump did nothing, basically, to secure the border. He said he was gonna, but he didn't do anything. He wouldn't allow $13 billion. Well, that was his maximum amount of money. Sending $150 billion to other countries for their border security, like Israel, to build another wall. But no, only $13 billion for American companies. And he didn't even push that. And he built a border wall that you could climb over if you're halfway athletic. And then he didn't put enough border guards on it to enforce the restrictions. Trump wants you gone. He wants the white race gone. You people keep thinking that because he said make America great again, and then he destroyed the economy. What else did Trump lie about? He lied about voter fraud. He lied about getting to the bottom of why the Building 7 collapsed and the World Trade Centers were collapsed, and there was no official document that showed why. Why did they take the debris away? What else did he lie about? He was going to put Clinton in jail, Hillary Clinton in jail. Did that ever happen? No, it did not. He could have. And now he knew that Clinton's dossier report, the Mueller report, the Mueller papers, whatever you want to call it, he knew it was fake, and he did not go after her. He had 4 years to do that. Now it comes out that Clinton's documents were fake, 100%. The Durham, D-U-R-U-M, Durham report, 100% proved that the FBI went along with the Clinton report that Trump was a traitor. Now it's 100% proven last week only that it's false. But Trump knew it was false from the get-go because he knew he didn't do those things. And he did nothing to put her in jail. He's a fraud, a complete fraud. Now, this fella, go back over here, this fella, I got to get him back up on the screen now. This fella, Vivek Ramaswamy, okay? You listen to this guy, and I'll tell you one of the things. He's completely 100% opposed to allowing anybody under the age of 18 to go through transgender surgery. 100%. He said you could do anything you want on your 18th birthday, but before that, you're not allowed to offer transitionary surgery to anybody under the age of 18, the same way you're not allowed to get a tattoo legally under the age of 18, because you're transforming or manipulating a body part that you may regret later. He's 100% for transgenders and the choice of being a transgender, which means if you were a blogger in Thailand, or what is known as Thailand, if you were a blogger in Thailand and somehow you drank a Bud Light and you got drugged from the chemicals in a Bud Light and you made love to another man, that's okay. He has no problem with that. It's only when you're under 18 that would become an obscenity. And everybody knows that Bud Light makes you gay. So if that's true, I don't know it's true, but I mean, everybody else seems to know it's true. If that's true, then making love to another man is easily plausible deniability. Is you could just say, I drank some Bud Light. I was drugged. Someone slipped me a Bud Light, AKA a Mickey, and I just made love to that guy. I didn't mean to, but I was under the influence of a Bud Light. That's true. Now, if you don't ever tell me that you did, I tell all my friends, if you ever did it, I don't want to know about it. But if you made love to another man, ever, I don't want to hear about it. But if you did, all you got to do is say, you know, I didn't know that Bud Light made you gay. I wasn't sure about that until I made love to that guy. And then, oh my God, then I knew that Bud Light makes you gay. But until that day, I didn't know that. And that's going to be your excuse. This is a fail-safe. And not only that, if you're over 18, you can make love to all the people you want, anybody you want. And this guy, Vivek Ramaswamy, he said, you want to make love to another man, knock yourself out after the age of 18. You want to be gay? Be gay. You want to be a lesbian? Be a lesbian. But he also wants to stop the flow of illegal immigrants into America. He wants that stopped. He wants it stopped. He knows it's illegal. He wants it stopped. This guy deserves you to watch that video for an hour. He is more American than Trump could ever hope to be. And also, he started from nothing a multi-billion-dollar biotech company. And he became, I think he's worth $500 million. That's what he said in the video. Could be worth more. But he has a net worth of $500 million. And he started that company. So he's also an entrepreneur. So you people out there that you still think that Trump is the best thing since sliced bread, he's not. He's the worst thing that ever happened to America. He shut down the global economy. He usurped, sucked, deleted, stole half or more percentage of every middle class savings in America. He did not give any Americans a subsidized salary where they did in Germany, they did in France. That's why France didn't care that there was a lockdown. They got paid every week. They got paid their salary every week. Same thing with Germany. Same thing with Poland. All those people got paid every week for when there was a lockdown. Why would they care? Keep it going. But America, he did that to suck the American economy and American savings out of the middle class. You people are stone stupid if you don't see it, what he did. I'm going to make America great again. And what did he do? He did the same thing that Obama did. He said one thing and did something else. He's a liar. That's right. Trump is a liar. Let's see if we have any more comments. What the heck happened to Aloe de Winter's comments? I don't know why they got... I must have pushed the wrong button somewhere. Sorry, Aloe. All righty. I'm out of breath. But you know what? You didn't see me take a drink of water. And that's because I didn't take a drink of water. So how long is this video on? 2 hours. I pontificated for 2 hours and 5 minutes. And now I'll drink some water. I think I'll be able to show you guys my leg in a few weeks. Seriously. The wounds on my legs are like this big now. From this big to this big. And I'm not taking antibiotics. I have a friend of mine from Australia, Bill, that sent me something called green clay. Supposed to be able to put that on as a type of antibiotic steroid. I don't know. Not a steroid, but like an antibiotic. It's been in transit now since March 8th, so that's May 8th. It's been in transit for 7 weeks. It's stuck in customs. My $150 boots that I bought. Well, I'm going to start doing videos about this company. Boy, they lie. I bought a pair of $150 boots, size 14, so I could wear extra thick thermal socks, which I have. I bought those March 8th. They guaranteed me March 19th delivery date. So now it's April 20th. It's 4 weeks. And when you look it up with the tracking number, it says it's in transit. I have a letter from Brian from the company saying, Michael Fazio, thank you for your order. Your order is in transit. The customs in your country, which not my country, by the way, but the customs in your country have the boots in their customs, whatever they have, and that's what held up the order. Now, I got that on, I don't know, 2 weeks ago. So I sent them a letter, just refund my money, but I have to get the boots before I can send them back for the money. And then it would cost me $40 US for shipping to send the boots back. So I'm going to keep the boots, but that's what's going on. Postal, the boots were $140 and postage was $42. Philippines postage. So to get my boots from Manila to Bohol for a 2 kilo package was $42 to get it from Manila to my house. The other shipping, trade-in paid. $42 to have a pair of boots delivered 250 miles for Philippines. This country leaves a lot to be desired. Let's go down to the comments. No new comments. Okay. Starting to slack off here. What else do I have to talk about? The men who fixed my internet yesterday, nice guys. Really nice guys. They normally when you tell them you need a new router, they don't want to give you a new router because those are they're like $100 parts or whatever. So the man had said to me when he came, they have tools now that they didn't have 2 years ago when I did need a router. They have a tool, it's called a tone tool, T-O-N-E, tone tool. They put the tone tool on the wire up the block, 875 feet away. And then they go down the block and shoot the wire with a kind of like an infrared gun, but it picks up the tone. And then when the tone stops, that's where the wire broke. So they put the tone tool on the wire up the block. They found a break 100 yards away from here, about 300 feet away, maybe a little less. They fixed the wire. Then they came and put a tone tool on my end of the wire. And then somebody went up the block 875 feet away, and the tone read 4.2 volts, which is what it was supposed to be. So it's a tone, and it's also a power. Two things it sends through the wire, a tone and really interesting stuff, this new fiber optics. And then they fixed it. I gave them each 2 oranges, which would be about, they're not going to buy oranges. They won't buy oranges. They're not that much money. They're about 10 pesos each, 20 cents a piece. But for them to spend 40 cents for an orange, not going to happen. They would rather buy rice for 10 pesos, which is 5 times the volume. I gave them each 2 oranges. I gave them 100 pesos for the 4 of them. I also gave them empty water bottles, and I had a package of 8 gloves that wouldn't fit my hands. They were Daisy Mays gloves. I gave them those gloves. I don't know what they'll do with them, but they wanted them. So I gave it to them. And they were very happy. I mean, 2 oranges might not sound like much, but I gave 4 men 2 oranges and 2 men 4 oranges each. So there was 12 oranges, about 120 pesos worth of oranges. They were very appreciative. They did a nice cleanup, and they don't expect anything. The men that work for Globe, if you don't give them anything, they treat you the same way as if you give them something. They really frown on giving them any kind of money. They wouldn't. They don't want money. They'd rather have snacks because that's legal for them to take. Not legal for them to take money. So they called up the center so the center could talk to me, the Globe Hub, where they the big boss. And I said, I'm going to tell them that I gave you. No. Oranges, yes. Money. I had them. No. Don't mention pesos. So I made the woman. I said, look, can you do me a favor? She goes, what is it? They promised me you'll try to do the favor. She said, okay. Promised me that you'll give these men double salary this week. So they two laughed. Two were outside. She laughed. I said goodbye, thank you, and have a nice day, and that was it. So that was cool. I had a big problem with my biopsy from the hospital. Was supposed to be done on the 11th. I went into the city for that and to get my stitches taken out. Got the stitches taken out, went to get the biopsy. It's not ready. Come back on the 18th. Went back on the 18th. She says, have a seat. I sat down. I waited 2 hours without saying a word because my number was 2 hours away. So I waited for 2 hours. And when my number wasn't called, the next number higher than me was called. I said, ma'am, can you tell me about my blood test? Yes, sir. Wait a while. I said, well, you said that at 1 o'clock. It's almost 3 o'clock now. Sir, sit down. Oh, and that didn't go over so well. I said, can you go in the back and find out? So a man comes out, and I said, sir, I've been here since 1 o'clock. Can you tell me how much longer it's going to be before my blood work is done? I don't have to explain to him that I have other things to do, like go home and take a bath. I've been up since 4 o'clock. He tells me, sit down, like that. I'm thinking to myself, you got to be kidding. Sit down. But not, please sit down, not have a seat, sir, just sit down. I said, sir, can you tell me about how long it's going to be? Sit down. I said, I tell you what, I'll go sit down if you tell me how long it's going to be. So he said 20 minutes. I said, no, I don't want to wait that long, but thank you. I'll come back. No, you go sit down. And by that time, all he had was back. I never said a word, but I don't know why it took 17 days. 17 days for a biopsy. I don't know why it took that long. I'll go back next week and get the biopsy. But I don't know what was on his mind either. He definitely was not nice about it. Had he said, sir, can you please go sit down? I would have said, can you please tell me how much longer it's going to be, which is what I said. But when he demanded that I go sit down like I was his pet, I started laughing to myself. I'm not hearing that so well. So there was no argument, but I didn't start an argument. I just said, please tell me how long. 20 minutes. I said, no, that's too long. I'm going to go. No, you go sit down. Yeah, see you later. And I left. I don't know. When they say wait a while, I was in the chair from 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And then I had to wait 16 minutes for the girl that left her desk to go to the lab. She came back 16 minutes with the man. So I waited 2 hours, 15 minutes. That's enough. It's enough time to wait for something when she said, just wait a while. What is a while? They have this nasty habit of saying, wait a while. And there's no definitive answer to what a while is. A while could be a few minutes or what? Should I wait till 5 o'clock and you still don't have my results? I mean, what is a while? I don't like that answer. And I had other stuff to do on my phone. I had just gotten my phone back. My phone fell apart, and I had to reprogram some stuff that got deleted when they put the phone back together. I don't know. I had to update. I had stuff to do, but that way to sit down, yeah, okay. I got right with that. Red Horse, Filipino time. Oh, Red Horse. Are you still moving to that? Are you still close? Are you moving closer to your final destiny, Red Horse? Or are you there already? Can you answer that? Nobody knows where it is. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for the end. Wow. Red Horses in the Philippines, baby. My God. Well, congratulations to you and the missus. That was I don't think I'll ever get to that part of the Philippines. But I do know a little bit about that. Man, you talk about I don't know. I looked at the topography and what's available. Not a lot of amenities, which is what you want. Al, I wish you the best of luck. Thanks for stopping by and saying hello. That's a big move. Moving from your palatial estate in the States into that environment. God, what a wait a while. Wait a while. Wait a while. It takes years to get used to this culture. Years, if you ever do. You'll get me to come someday. Well, for you, I would travel, but I am not allowed to leave the house now for except to go to the hospital this week to get the stitches out on the 11th and the 18th to get my blood work. The doctor doesn't want me to even. I don't know, man. It's a 7.5-inch scar, but they sewed the muscle up, put the intestines back behind the muscle, drained out the sac, and he said it will take a year for it to completely heal. I don't. So, but he don't want me to leave the house. But he don't want me to leave the house for 90 days. He said, you stay home and sit down in your chair or your bed for 90 days, and then you could go out and do some light walking. But I don't. I go out in the yard. I got to do laundry. I got to have to charge. I have a solar charger in the back to charge stuff up. I have to do that. I have to build a new ladder. The one Daisy and I built, it's not really safe. I won't go up it. The kids went up it the other day. They all got stuck on the roof, but I got stuff to do. I'm gonna have to go order some lumber. I'm gonna build a new ladder because the heaviest thing I'm gonna pick up is a 3-foot 2x3 or the planer. But they don't want me to pick up anything heavier than 10 pounds. So I'm not traveling anytime soon. I do have a friend of mine that's going to come here and stay probably next door. He was supposed to be here today, but his son came to Cebu for whatever reason. I don't know why his son is in the Philippines. It could be business, it could be pleasure. I never asked him, but I knew this fella for 8 years, and he's coming to visit me. He's supposed to stay next door. And if that's the case, we'll probably be going out to do something, some kind of the whole tour. I don't know what. He wants to do something. Yeah, the swelling. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, the swelling. Actually, I look like a goat 2 days after the operation. A goat would be jealous of the ball sack. I'm telling you, a goat would be jealous. A goat could only hope. And now that's gone. It's almost back to normal. Yeah, that was a little bit disheartening. I was lucky that I fit into my diapers. Freaking diapers. Unbelievable. You don't think about stuff like that. You don't really think. When the doctor said to Daisy, well, he said it to me, his operation is going to be this afternoon. Where are his diapers? As if someone told me to buy diapers. No one told me. I said, what do I need diapers for? He goes, oh, you're going to need diapers. Okay. Daisy went out and bought 10 diapers. I forgot the name. I put them away. But yeah, that was a surprise. Surprise. Freaking diapers. They came in handy, though, I'll tell you that. It's an ugly thing, diapers. At the end of the day, it's a very ugly thing. For a man, not for a baby or a child, but for a man, it's an eye-opening experience, to say the least. Yes, the swelling went down. Thanks for asking. I'll send you a picture. I said that to Scott this morning. He goes, no, that's okay. Send it to somebody that wants to see it. All right, then, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go. Thanks for watching. If anybody has a question, ask it now. I'll give me a minute to think what else Trump lied about, because he's a liar. I'll take your word for it. Scott too, he believes me. Okay, bye-bye, buddy. Nice to see you again. I'm glad that, boy, you moved right in on that, boy. You said you were going to do something not even a year ago, and you did it. Congratulations. Say hello to the missus. Thank you. I'm trying to think of what else Trump lied about. He lied about All right, then the camera just went off, came back on. That's my cue, Susie Q, baby. I still have 50%. I'm going to say thanks for watching. If I think of anything else, I'm going to put the name of this presidential candidate. If you watch this presidential candidate talk to John Stausser, it's an interview with him and John Stausser, who's supposed to be a famous interviewer. It's a great interview. Really, all kidding aside. It's a great interview. And this guy Stausser is a devout liberal. But he did not try to mess with Vivek Ramaswamy. He did not try to mess with him. He just asked him questions and let him answer the questions. He didn't interrupt them. He was a very good interview. It's a great interview. All right, I'll post that stuff in the link in the description box right now. Thanks for watching, and God day to everybody from Michael Fazio and Daisy May, because Daisy May, believe it or not, she still gets a gift of some of the proceeds on a regular basis, and that's the way it's probably going to stay for quite a while. I'm Ping Permy, which of course means take care always from the Philippines, and of course, Rabbi! Jew Barker in the Philippines, baby. That's right. Oy vey and shalom from the Philippines, baby. Now, how do I shut this off? There we go. And bye-bye.